Hello, this is Chris for Broken Nib RC, and I've got a new addition to my stable, uh, my fleet of vehicles. I picked up a scx24, one of the C10 ones, obviously, and this little guy is pretty neat. Um, they drive. I usually don't get into small scale vehicles. The smaller than 110 because the scale driving on them could be kind of hampered because they don't carry a lot of mass. But I gotta admit, this thing's a lot of fun, and it's good in small spaces. I don't have to be, have to look for perfect terrain all the time. You can rock it in the backyard, no problem, and it's actually a fun little rig. Uh, I came with obviously came with its with these kind of stock tires, these BFGs, which are great, but they have no foams, um, and they tend to bounce a little bit. So one of the first, you can't pick up you can't pick up a new RC car without doing mods. It's in my nature. It's in my nature. It's in a lot of guys' nature. A lot of people in this hobby, you got to modify it. You got to make it your own. Got to make it run better. Got to do this. You got to do that. And this is basically a short video on what I'm starting to do on this thing. Uh, I thought the simplest thing to do was to get new tires for it. So of course I get a set of Patagonias from RC 4-wheel drive, and they look great. And I figured, oh, I need a set of beadlocks. So I got a set of beadlocks, which is great. And these are the smallest beadlocks I've ever seen in my entire life. They're just tiny. And every one of these screws you have to screw in. It's every one of these screws. It's not. There's no fascia or anything. Everything is assembled, of course. And this is the tiniest hardware I've ever had. I just had to wear. I just started wearing glasses a few years ago because I'm getting old. Older. Well, I'm getting to be an old fart. So, just started wearing glasses a few years ago. Finally, I get this thing, and everything is so small on it, and it's unbelievable. I need an electron microscope just to do the basic things. It's kind of hard to get tools for it. I mean, it's a little strange. They give you one small Allen key that is real handy. You don't want to let go of this thing because this is going to save you quite a bit. The wrench to take off the wheels is on a standard T-wrench. It's a 4mm nut, which is tiny. The thing is tiny. I'm almost afraid to work on it because everything is so small. I'm going to sneeze and the whole thing's going to explode. But anyway, I put the world's tiniest beadlocks together, and they look great on the truck, as you could see. I think they look fantastic, and they're looking good. But problem is the tiny servo in there now it has a hard time steering the wheels. And to be honest with you, the motor, I think it's an 88 turn motor, is pretty stock. It's having a hard time pushing that mass around. I didn't buy any brass for it to start, figuring that you start buying brass for some of these trucks, and it's a lot of dead weight, especially at the end, for like steering servos and that kind of a thing. It's a lot of weight to be pushing around, especially at first. So you have to be careful and kind of modify it a little bit as you go. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of in a world of hurt. It's going to affect the performance of the truck, and you won't be able to drive it. Now it's kind of at the point where it's kind of hard to drive. It doesn't have enough torque to get out of its own way. I guess the wheels have so much mass on them. It drives great. It just doesn't have a lot of poop. The motor is just kind of getting tired. So I picked up a couple of motors. The other thing that's not kind of nice about this is that I think it was $70 for the whole set of wheels, for 4 wheels, and the tires themselves came in under 15 bucks, which is pretty affordable. I mean, it's everything's tiny, everything's teeny weeny, but it's not bad. The motors, I think one was $5 and the other one was maybe $6. So went ahead and started with that. Guys are putting in these barrage motors in these things, and I'm not sure, but I think they're 100 turn. Don't quote me on that. I'm kind of finding out about this stuff as I go along. Got a replacement motor for $5, which is I believe the 88 turn. Yeah, well, it says 88 right on there. So that's always an option. Apparently, you have to get these barrage motors to work. You have to put you have to basically re-drill the motor plate and kind of set it up, which is not anything complicated, but kind of hairy at this scale. It's just everything's so small. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because you I have to kind of get to where I could tear everything down, and I mean everything's easy to get to, and that's all good. But like I said, everything is so tiny that I have a hard time getting up to doing any kind of major surgery on this thing. It's just very strange, but it's doable. I mean, everything's doable. Last night I put a servo mount in to mount the servo. Just like $12 in hot racing. That's the other thing, is that the demand for these parts now are so, I don't know if it's increased demand or just short supply, but it's very hard to get parts, especially the hop-up parts. Hot racing especially is just kind of hard to get a hold of this stuff, and you kind of have to kind of piecemeal it as you go. I mean, I've been searching A-main and RPP and kind of around, and it's kind of hard to get some pieces. I mean, I don't want to trick this thing all out in aluminum. It's kind of crazy. I can get a set of axles for $50 an axle, which is okay, I guess, but I don't see the point, really. I don't know. Maybe down the road. I don't see much of a point of it right now because everything works the way it is. And there's no sense putting a whole ton of aluminum on this thing and getting your weight in all kinds of different places on the truck, which kind of changes the geometry quite a bit. I did go on Amazon and find a new servo, which is great, but it's a few centimeters bigger than the stock servo, which means it won't fit into the base, which means I need longer hardware, which means I need to find the longer hardware to buy, because everything is like 1.4, 1.3 millimeter. Yeah, so it's a little bizarre. It's not insurmountable problems, but it's different. It's different. I'm used to just looking up stuff for 10 scale stuff. It's just real easy. You find it, you buy it, you put it on. Not so much with this thing. It's kind of got its own tricks up its sleeve. But anyway, these are a lot of fun to drive. The suspension is so soft. I found some like little aftermarket shocks for this thing, and those will be coming hopefully next week, and I'll make another video, put them on, and kind of see how they do with this thing. But yeah, they really get, like regular RC, they get really kind of addictive, and I think for $120 to get into it, and you're kind of ready to go, ready to run. I'm not even into that much ready to run stuff, to be honest with you. Except for these were just a lot of fun. you're good to go pretty much out of the box. And I'm surprised. I mean, it's just real surprising to me, and it's just kind of fun. And that's just how I wanted to share this little guy, and keep you updated on what's going on with it. And that's about it. If you like the video, just click like and subscribe and share and whatever. You know the drill. So, okay, guys, it's been great. Talk to you later. Bye.